Hey and welcome to Strip Panel Naked, I'm Haas and I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff lurking in the pages of some of the best comics. I talked about Steranko's work on his 3 Captain America issues, 110, 111 and 113 last time on the show, and specifically about his use of staccato panels. You can see that episode by clicking the little card in the top right there. This time I wanted to talk about another big obvious tool in Steranko's storytelling, his double splash pages. In each of these 3 issues, there is one double splash per issue, and it occurs, interestingly, at exactly the same page each time, pages 12 and 13 of the story. I'm going to assume that this just felt right for Steranko to have these big bursts happen here, but I will be going into a little bit more detail on the Patreon about how Steranko paces his stories in a similar way, and for what reason and effect. Because he does do it through a bunch of comics I've read that he was plotting and drawing. His S.H.I.E.L.D. issues, for example, also do the exact same thing on the exact same story pages. Anyway, specifically what I wanted to discuss was what Steranko is doing in these big double splash pages across these issues. One of the defining things of Steranko's work, and something I discussed last time, is his excellent sense of creating beats and rhythm in his work, and a lot of that is done by having particularly dense pages. He draws a lot of panels, basically. There's a very clear stylistic approach to every sequence you see of his work, and individual pages will have plenty of different images, different sequences and approaches all within that. However, without fail across these 3 issues, and as I mentioned also the S.H.I.E.L.D. issues, his double splashes are just one image. They present a moment, single moment, frozen in time, a big action set piece, and it just hangs there, taking up the most amount of space possible. It's bold, it's brash, and it again comes down to the juxtaposition of sequences. A double splash is the biggest format you've got in a traditional comic book to show off the visuals, and there are plenty of ways to use them. But drawing one image across both pages and not breaking that down into separate panels, or even having action progression shown with ghost images or silhouettes, means Steranko is just giving you that one single moment. And that becomes very powerful when placed against the rest of his work. The double splash already gives you a large moment, but when compared to the language of the rest of the book, it's especially big. Let's hop back for a second though and see what the panel before each of these splash pages is. In each instance, it's a setup for a page turn, a surprising moment. Something's heading this way, they captured Rick Jones, unless you want to get it right now. Each one creates a moment of unease, a gasp of what's going to happen next, and then you turn the page and you see something like this. Catching you off guard, disrupting the preconceived rhythm you've established through reading the rest of the issue. It jolts you, but the power of the imagery is so much and so distinct that it immediately pulls you back in to see what daring feat Cap is doing now. And it does that by purposefully pulling you into the main man himself. Steranko will have Hydra goons firing straight at Captain America, which causes these lines to pull you into the image right where Cap is. He's trying to guide your eye to the most important detail of the page. Combined with Cap typically being the largest individual element, it means he gains the most power and weight. He's attempting to get your eye there first. But that's not all he's doing, because Steranko isn't just drawing one punch or one kick large. He's rendering a whole scene in quite a lot of detail, and he's giving you a whole series of things to look at in each of these splashes. In the first example, you can see it with Rick in the background. He's fighting a Hydra agent. There's agents coming down the stairs on the left side, there's ones climbing down a ladder at the top of the image, there's fully rendered and fully coloured agents in the bottom left. There is a lot going on here. In the 3rd issue, you've got the agents, you've got the Avengers characters in their coffins, the various Hydra agents fully rendered. He's packing each of the images in so that these pages last longer than they otherwise might. And in that way, he's making these action moments elongated, but he's also making them suggestive. That big splash takes a while to read, initially because you're hit by the pure impact of it, and then scanning through and seeing everything Steranko has rendered there, combined with that text added by Lee. But it's suggestive because you know what's happening here. These agents are firing at Cap and he's just driven himself right into the middle of it all, clearly fighting and punching his way through the agents. And more are coming out of the woodwork to get him. He's going to have to really fight to get his way out of this one. Suggestion rather than specifics. And that's very powerful in a visual medium, and here it's used to brilliant effect by Steranko. And then we're back into the story again with each of these examples into the normal Steranko style of heavily panelled layouts and inventive design work like nothing ever happened. To bring it back, finally, to the rhythm of the work, as this is what feels like a key thing for Steranko, he's giving us a kind of breather that's roughly halfway through the issue. With so much going on, so much information being thrown at us in these dense pages, he's giving us a moment to step back from that and just witness something. Something big, something impressive, something bold. And at the heart of that is a really good tip for comics and just storytelling generally. Build those breaks in. Steranko knew how to pace these books, and that includes knowing just the right moment to slow it all down for the reader and give him a second. He's running at breakneck pace in so many of these issues, but by having that double splash page built in and baked into his storytelling style, he knows he's always going to have a moment for you to relax before throwing you straight back into it. And it's the ebb and flow of that makes his storytelling so powerful, and such an interesting thing to take and learn from for other stories. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of Strip Panel Naked, you can support the show via Patreon, where your pledge gets you access to tons and tons of extra content every single week. You can also get my magazine at panelxpanel.com and find me on Twitter at HassanOE. Finally, hit subscribe and that notification bell to keep up to date with all the latest episodes, and I'll see you next time.